let me actually do this. Let me actually pull up a guideline. So the vehicle has to be at least a 2012. If it's 2011. Hi, welcome to my channel. We're in for a great video. I'm gonna go ahead and be doing a credit audit on some advice. We always get all these credit gurus that know what lenders and what the credit bureau looks for to help you improve your credit. As a person that's been doing this for over 10 years approving loans, let's see if in this video they know what lenders are looking for in the credit bureaus to help you build your credit. This guy has a 200K following, so let's see if he's just another person that is just a hack. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Before we actually do that, you know me, I gotta take care of my housekeeping. So if you need help with credit, go ahead and link in the description below will help you go ahead and sign up. And also my credentials will be on the screen as a credit analyst, again approving various types of loans. Again, I know I've been doing this for over 10 years, so I have a great understanding. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this video and get started.
Dang, that's like the first one that popped up. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. We might as well go over what was on your credit right now, bro. Fuck it. Yeah, let's they tell you, bro. He's sucking that boy off. That
Nigga Bob don't know what he's doing back there.
yeah, it's going crazy right now. Good slop. Alright, you should get closer, bro. Alright, y'all. So I'm gonna show y'all know Credit Karma is not really that accurate, y'all, but it gives me an idea of what's on this credit report, man. So we're gonna look first at TransUnion, just so y'all.
All right, let's go ahead and start there. He says that you know that TransUnion is not accurate. Okay, so the thing is that they're not accurate. What is happening is that that is not the type of credit model that lenders use. Lenders use FICO, so that's why I always tell people always have your Experian account in. If you can afford the subscription, have it, because you'll have access to the credit scores that the lenders use, which ends up being, I think, auto score 8 and then FICO score 8, if I remember that. If not, it's going to be on here on the screen, but essentially that's really what it is. So let me go ahead and also show you an article I got for you. Okay, so right here it says that according to FICO's website, its score is used by 90% of the top lenders. So as you can see, FICO credit score is what is being used the most. So that's already the first step. So let's go ahead and continue and get about this. It's gonna be fun.
Y'all can see what was on his profile to get approved for this 33K auto loan check. And you can flip it on me, nice. So I forgot to say, bro, how long you was building a relationship with Navy? Remember I told you?
Literally that day that we did, like, had that the video from a year ago, like 2-3 weeks after is when I went in and did the backdoor method, got in, bang, and then ever since then I just had him.
I'm telling you, and it worked, right? The backdoor method.
33 grand, niggas.
Look, y'all. A lot of y'all be telling me, man, that the backdoor method with Navy doesn't work. To get in the Navy, that way you can get approved for an auto loan or build a relationship to get approved for a high limit credit card. This shit works, bro. Y'all go watch my backdoor method. I'm not gonna explain it here, but go watch it to get into Navy Federal, right, y'all? So he got into Navy Federal about a year ago. You was building a relationship with him. What you had with him? You
just a debit card, bro.
You never got the pledge loan or a secure card?
Nothing, bro.
You didn't get the secure card either?
Nah. You have to bring him right.
You was just banking with him.
Yeah, I was just banking with them, bro.
And look, they still threw him a 33K auto loan check as a first time buyer. This is what I'm saying, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and look throughout the video and see if he really did get approved for a 33K auto loan. But see, I'm gonna go ahead and give him kudos. I'm gonna give him at least his flowers for that. He's off to the right path. Essentially, yes, it is so important to go ahead and build your relationship. See how you mentioned, I was like, oh, did he get a secure credit card? Did he get a pledge loan through Navy Federal, which ends up being just a secured loan using cash? But essentially, are you using the different type of financial services that the financial institution offers. They're more likely to go ahead and give you a loan if you're building that relationship. So in case if you're not familiar with what he is referring to, that's what it is. Are you taking advantage to build that? Because that does make a difference, and especially if you don't have credit or don't have the best credit, a lot of money in the bank account will actually go ahead and help you. I've actually approved a lot of people that have that great relationship, using it as a compensating factor. A little nugget to help you guys get approved. Can't say I don't do anything for you guys. Let's go ahead and continue.
Bro, like this is why I fuck with Navy, bro. Like you ain't try to pre-qualify for other like.
No, bro. We ever since that day when we got declined those two. We did Navy, we did PenFed, I think, and then we did some other. I think we did DCU or some shit. And you get applied for nothing.
And remember, I had told you what? I forgot what I told you. I think I told you. Add like 2 AU trade lines on your profile, let your credit age a little bit.
Bro, and I did that shit,
and what happened, bro?
What? I got like a 2 year. I got a year and a half on my capital, bro, and then I got 2 other capitals, I think, or 1 other capital, and then I got the Discovery, and then other shit on there. Bang, that shit.
Let that shit age, and then you got 2 AU trade lines.
Yeah,
you got.
show them that shit,
I'm telling y'all, look, AU trade lines. They're a boost to your credit report. They help your credit report. They like enhance it, all right, y'all? But if you add them bitches alone on your credit profile with no other primaries, with no other accounts, that's how you get denied, y'all. They only work if you already have a decent credit profile. And he added 2 AU trade lines, and shit, they approved for $33K, you know, on an auto loan as a first-time buyer. Me personally, they only approved me as a first-time buyer for $22K, y'all. So I'm pretty sure it was, you know, obviously it was him seasoning his accounts and then adding the 2 AU trade lines. So let's get close.
Okay, he was on a roll. I like the advice he gave about how adding the 2 trade lines to your credit, that actually does help. That is solid advice. And just like he explained, it boosts up. We don't actually use it as proof when we're underwriting a loan, because essentially that's, you're not paying for it. That's the whole point. The AU, which is authorized user, it's pretty much for people just to boost their score. So we're not going to be like, oh, he's been paying this for a year. The only way for us to do it is for you to provide proof, and then 9 times out of 10 we won't go ahead and do that. I know that's more in the mortgages. They'll actually do that. They'll accept if you've been paying for a authorized user account, but in the consumer loans, for like auto loans, personal loans, and those credit cards, we're not really gonna care. We're like, he's new to credit. And then also to touch base about what he mentioned, that's how he got approved for 33K auto loan. There's actually a lot of different factors that go into approving someone for a loan. Like, you got your credit, which also he mentioned, that's always the easiest, right? You have your debt to income, you have your payment to income, referred to as PTI. You have your loan to value, you have the year of the vehicle, you have the miles of the vehicle, your employment information, your residency information, your relationship with the financial institution. There's just a lot of factors that go into it. You know what? Let me actually do this. Let me actually pull up a guideline so you can go ahead and see all the different factors, what takes to go ahead and approve you for a loan. Because again, I've been doing this again for many years. So let's go ahead and get this pulled up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the secret. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, so we were gonna go ahead and look at this information. We're gonna start right here. So we have the income. So we have the income. So in order for you to go ahead and qualify, you have your pay stub has to be within the last 30 days. You see your employment, 2 years, verifiable. If there is any gaps that essentially you did stop working, a 60-day is considered, but it's based on case by case. Your residency, 2 years. For applicants, living with family, 25%. The vehicle has to be at least a 2012. If it's 2011 or older, there could be an exception, but again, it's a case by case, like they're stating it here. Insurance requirements you need, and then references. So as you can go ahead and see there, those are a couple of requirements to go ahead and get approved through for a lender, to go ahead and get approved for a lender. And that's just not something that he went ahead and touched about. Let me see if there's anything more else, because again, I want to make sure to give you guys the best information I can. The best. Okay, I was able to find a little bit more information. Okay, so we have this. There's no down payment required, but again, that's subject to where your credit score is. The max front end, which is your loan to value, is 100%. The max that they'll give you to back end in total is going to be 120. The max LTV in general they'll give you is 150%. Max loan amount 30 grand. And then depending on the credit tiers that you fall, like it states up here, 60%, 61 if you don't have. So this is probably good credit, okay credit, bad credit. So essentially this would be the LTVs that they would go ahead and do. So as you can see, I was able to show you a little bit of a lender's program, so you can go ahead and get yourself familiar. So that's something that he was just missing to touch on, and that's why I making this video for that sure reason. So let's go ahead and continue, because he has a lot more to say.
Just get this real quick. So you got 100 payment history, credit card usage 3%.
Shit, like 16 racks.
Capital One, $300 limit. Capital One, 500.
Okay, so we're taking a look here on his credit cards. So as you can see, these two high limits right here, the 5,100 and 10,000, most likely that is the two authorized user accounts he's opened by his recommendation to help boost and inflate his credit score. But these are most likely his own credit cards. So to me, what this tells me, because he mentioned about 33,000, I don't think it's either he has high income or he has a co-signer. So it's one of those. I think it's more that he has a co-signer, because I'm like, for a person that makes a lot of money, you're not gonna go ahead and get approved a $300 or $500 credit card through Capital One. They're at least gonna give you like 2,500. So that's the thing. That's what I was skeptical, and this is the information that I've been looking for. Hopefully, I'm able to confirm it a little bit more with more information I do see. But let's go ahead and take a look. But that is something I did want to point out.
$100 limit, Discover 5.1K, Discover Bank 10.6. These are the two AU trade lines, right?
Yeah.
So he got two Discover AU trade lines.
What I tell you? What I tell you? You see? Yeah, and I can see why his credit score dipped. He has a high utilization. He has 89% on that Capital One, as you can see right here. I'm pretty sure that's what it says right there. Let's see. It's kind of hard, but I'm pretty sure that's 89. 268, 300. Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
And them trade lines help, because look, he only got two. He got a Capital One card for a $300 limit and a $500 limit. But them trade lines make him look good. They boost up his report. They really care about age on your primaries, and the AU trade lines that boost up your report. So shit, he had his most recent account trade lines that boost up your report. He had his most recent account was 3 months ago.
Yeah, bro. That's the worst shit I applied for. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I would just do that shit. Fuck it, bro.
Give me. So you had applied for this Capital One card 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And the auto loan check, you applied for that shit just recently, and they still approved you.
They still approved me.
And they still approved them, y'all. Even though he got a recent account in the last 6 months, which is 3 months right here in this case, they still approved him for an auto loan check based off the relationship that he built with Navy. Do y'all know any other institution, any other credit union, any other bank that's gonna do that? Why y'all think I always mention Navy Fed? People start saying, bro, that's so cliche. You always mention Navy Fed because, bro, these niggas so sweet, bro. Navy Fed is so sweet. I'm telling y'all.
They're gonna see, bro, like 6-7 months. No, not 6-7 months. Give it a couple little bit more time. I'm gonna go pull out another whip with Navy again, bro. It's gonna
exactly,
be the same shit,
bro. So shit. And what was the interest rate that they gave you? They gave you.
They gave me 13.
They gave him a pretty high interest rate. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? 13 is high.
Okay, so the reason why he got that credit score, so it's based off where your credit score is. There's a credit risk tier that every lender uses. They're all different. It just depends on where your credit score is. So let's take a look at this one that I have here in front of me. Okay, so this is one. So this is how lenders will normally go ahead and base your what interest rates to give you depending on the term. So if he was like 713, I think is what I saw, he would be an A, which is actually not that bad. That's pretty great. So as you can see, if it was a 36-month term, it would be 9.49, 9.99, and then 10.49. And again, this is a signature loan, which is for a personal loan. So essentially, that's essentially where how your credit score plays a part to it. So that's why I'm making sure that you're building your credit, and what better place to do it is with me. Go ahead and book a consultation. Got him. Let's go ahead and go. So, but I wanted to go ahead and show you that so you can understand how your credit score really takes a role for your interest and give you the secret sauce, because that's why you're on my channel, to go ahead and learn how lenders approve, and also how to build and rebuild your credit. So come on, comments in the chat. Stop playing with me. I don't think they're gonna show the reasoning for the from the Navy Federal, the documents, because I do have a curiosity. But I don't think they do. I'll put the video in the link in description if you want to go ahead and take a look at it. If you do come back, I'll make a part 2 if that is the case, but I don't think so. Again, if you need help with your credit, go ahead. Link is in the below. Subscribe, comment, like. You know what to do. I'll go ahead and see you guys on the next one.